Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Castlevania. I'm the mysterious JG. I sure hope this isn't that your Bobo finally pulled the trigger to play Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest around Halloween as a surprise, because I sure didn't discuss this with him beforehand. Anyway, I went ahead and loaded, I'm save stating like a little stinky cheaty bitch, which I actually find less objectionable in this. Like, I really beating myself up a little bit, remembering that I did that near the end of Castlevania to wrap the run up. Timely, since I had other things I needed to do like that specific day. I'm beating myself up about that. About this, not so much, because really you can game over all day long and all it does is cost you time. So it's not like, I'm not going for the impressive no deaths run of Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. I'm just like, let me see if I can avoid having way too many day-night cycles go, although at some point I probably need to stop caring about that too. But anyway, something I didn't know until I did a little research in preparing for this run is about how the leveling up system works. Because I know I leveled up periodically, but I never quite got how. And now I do. And I loaded state like a stinky cheater and completed those that block jumping section to get the diamond and then return path without dying, just so I would have a little less grinding to do. And as a result, it was like less than 10 minutes of killing Lancer enemies in this place to get to level 3, and now I can't gain any experience from them anymore. But I do have enough hearts that I can show off what the diamond does, and it's this. It does damage, I think, equivalent to the whip I had before I got the Morningstar. Anyway, just so you can see, here is the path. Here's me taking damage. There's the entrance. I came in this way. Without using a bunch of save states, I managed to get past all those spikes without losing health off screen, and suddenly, let me switch to holy water. Suddenly I'm taking damage all over the place. Something I did not do before switching the recording software on was look at the map for this place just to see. I'm not really trying to memorize the path so much as see we got 1, 2, we got 2 hidden messages, and we got a guy that we gotta buy a steak from. And as far as I know, there's nothing stopping you from buying a steak in the previous mansion. I could be wrong. Maybe you lose the steak when you leave the mansion, but I don't know that there's anything stopping me from going to the last mansion and buying a steak again after I've already cleared the mansion. Oh, I'm just making a mess of it here. Yeah, mansions are always a little extra spooky because of the fear that you're going to fall through paths and have to repeat a bunch of stuff. But that's the main thing you're worried about. Or fall through paths and land on spikes. Or water, which is, I guess, slightly worse. Landing on spikes pretty much is going to be game over because you tend to get bounced around in a way that you can't recover from. But spikes is just automatically death. I mean, water. Game does feature, see here you're like tantalizingly close, but game does feature some spots where you can get into areas of these mansions that it doesn't seem like you're supposed to be able to get into. I don't remember this being one of the ones where that happened. I guess what I'm saying is that as a kid playing this game, this would be a way that you could while away an afternoon hanging out with Bobo playing this game, even if you've already beaten it before. But this is very much one where we would thoroughly explore mansions that we'd already beaten just to see if there's any cool new shit to do. Why did I come here? I thought there was a thing to find. There is. I gotta drop down. Okay. I don't know. How do I beat... How am I supposed to get to the thing then? Oh. Well, I guess at least from here I can actually kill this guy. Yeah, I don't think I ever found this as a kid. Place the laurels in a silk bag to bring them to life. That's a game-changing clue right there. So if the clue is acquire the bag will do something useful. I mean, I suppose like you can get the silk bag and never figure out what it does. Particularly if you reach a point late in the game where you've bought the Morningstar and that's the only point at which you suddenly start having enough gold to have tons of laurels in your inventory. I'm still collecting hearts just for the cash, but in all likelihood I will lose this cash before I get to spend it all. Where was the other, just so I don't miss it, where's the other hidden message is down past some spikes. Okay, and it's pretty straightforward from there. Just avoid falling into any, I don't see a lot of hidden pits either. Just trying to make sure I show off all the little secrets. You guys having a good Halloween season? Assuming you're watching this as it comes out. Which maybe you're not. You're certainly not obligated to watch them as they come out. Wait for a soul with a red crystal on Deborah Cliff. In fact, if you can figure out where Deborah Cliff is, you, with your red crystal equipped, need to wait there. You don't need to so much wait for a soul. Unless it's your soul. You gotta let your soul glow, let it shine. That was risky. I'm calling that was intentional. I wanted to clear out that enemy. Those were also intentional. It's like recon. No, it's RNG manipulation. That's what the speedrunners say. I've been watching speedruns. I'm not a speedrunner. Invest in an oak stake? Yes. Erase all memory of film from mankind's consciousness? Yes. That was not good. Oh well. Again, game over doesn't mean that much to me right now. It will piss me off in a big way if the next time I have a bunch of experience saved up and get to a mansion where I could grind for experience, I game over and lose all the experience. But there's not a whole lot of reason for me to worry about it right now. I've got nothing to spend any hearts on except for garlic and laurels. We've bought all the purchasable weapons. You gotta purchase the very first crystal, you gotta purchase the dagger and the holy water, and that's it. You always had, that's cute little enemy placement. Now we've got something we don't see that often in these games. A boss. It's the old Grim Reaper, our old friend. I think my biggest concern here is getting knocked off screen, which I'm actually getting really concerned about right now. I'm going to do something kind of crazy and use a... oh, never mind, I'm not going to use a laurel. You now possess the golden knife. So this is the most powerful throwing item in the game. As you can see, we have all the special weapons in the game. All that's left to acquire are the Draculoid body parts, so we can build our own Draculoid. Something I meant to show off, which I guess I'll show off when we get to that. There's only really 3 bosses in this whole game, counting Dracula. But, you now process Dracula's eyeball. Scariest part, the eyes happen. So Grim Reaper respawns. You can find him again if you want to. And here's something else to know. You don't have to fight him at all. You can skip the Grim Reaper, and speedrunners will do so. You get the golden knife for defeating him. You don't need the golden knife to win the game. The next boss is in a similar situation. You can skip her. I believe you do need the item she drops to win the game, though. Any chance this is a shortcut? No. got the... Nope. So we're gonna have to make our way out. I think I will buy another steak along the way, just to satisfy my newfound curiosity about whether you can carry it with you. If we make it back to town with hearts, I will stock up on all the laurels that I can. Otherwise, I don't care that much. And by if I make it back to town, I mean without dying and losing our hearts. Obviously, we will be able to make it back to town. Invest in an oak steak? That sounds like a good investment. So now we've got all the wappets again. I don't know that there's any point in coming up here. I think we've got to go around the long way. We've got to take the long way home. Take the long way home. A little moment of hesitating on whether I was going to start the screen there. See, we got some pretty serious lag going with these fellas. Game loves doing this. There's like no way I'm getting through here without taking damage. They're just going to crowd the staircase. It's NWO, folks. No way out. NWO is the only way to go, brother. At least the skeletons have the decency to really not pay too much attention to your pattern. They can still be set up in areas where they're moving back and forth over a spot so small they're going to end up damaging you and you can't do anything about it, but it's not just like an AI that's like, even if the game designers felt like they left plenty of space, they built in an AI that's going to always mess you up. As long as it doesn't drop me onto spikes, I wouldn't mind a time-saving invisible floor here. Not invisible floor, a visible floor that isn't actually there, or whatever that term would be for that. But typically I'm afraid to take those little shortcuts because I assume that I will land on death spikes or water. Like that. Okay, well, so much for what we said about... Oh, this is a dick move game. So much for what we said about making it to town with all of our hearts. It's sure liberating not to have to worry about that. Let's just try to... I was about to say let's try to get out of here without taking damage, but screw it. Whatever. So now we just need to get back to the ferryman. And you know, I think speed rushing my way... Speed rushing. I'm trying to give myself credit for being a speedrunner. I think knowing where the Morningstar was and getting there as soon as I could has made me feel like this game it's taking less hits to kill a lot of enemies than I recall from when I was a kid. Also the fact that I actually had an organized, semi-organized approach towards leveling Simon up, since I realized how that works and that you can do so in the mansions with no penalty. Sure, I'll take you to a good place. I'll take you to the nightmare that is a town composed entirely of women who've been waiting for a man to come along. You know, talk about their feelings. I'm trying to think how it would be a nightmare. They're gonna make you watch chick flicks. It's a nightmare. Okay, that was almost a very bad thing. Oh, I did get experience for killing that guy. No, I didn't. Never mind. I have 12 experience left over from something I was killing. I guess maybe those overworld enemies that shoot fireballs that we killed a couple of. Yeah, what enemies do and don't give you experience is a bit difficult to guess sometimes. Apparently none of these guys are giving me experience. The little grabby hands guys might. I think they rate as being more dangerous than other enemies around here. Apparently not. Guys, You let me down. I'm blaming you guys for not being able to show off that speedrun trick. So I'm not happy with you, and you're not making things any better with your current attitude. The morning sun has vanquished the blah blah blah, and now I am going to take a second to see if I can buy laurels here, because that's the main thing to spend money on now. Oh, except that the game is actually continuing without me, which I keep forgetting it will do. Maybe it's door A, that would be handy. No, A is don't look in the Death Star or you will die. So if I backtrack slightly to door B, let me see if I actually have enough. I can buy a few more laurels. Okay, I should do that. That is the correct strategic move. So we'll buy a few laurels and then we will actually continue on in our adventure. You really don't want to be found. Like, I don't know why they would make you repeat this puzzle. Like, yeah, you know to throw holy water at that wall. Buy some of my laurels? Yes. Buy some of my hearties? No. So we almost have maximum laurels. There is a section coming up with a really, really long swamp that you are meant to have to stockpile laurels for. So, you know, we'll get there, and hopefully having almost as many laurels as you're allowed to have will allow us to clear it. The game is usually, but not always, nice enough not to set you up so that walking off of a second or third tier set of blocks in a city will kill you. You know what, I don't care about getting healed up because I have no hearts or experience points I'm trying to preserve. So again, the mummies and the ghosts, if I was here without the Morningstar and had not leveled up to level 3, would take an obnoxious number of hits to kill. Barely salvaged that one. You get here, and this is one of those places Bobo and I jumping around trying to hit the cliff with our heads to make a hole thanks to the obnoxious clues given in this game. I believe it was Nintendo Power or one of those How to Win a Nintendo books that eventually told us to do, because we did finish this game as youngsters, that you have to do this. Why you would do this? Why this would happen? I don't know. Seems weird to me. So it drops you off here, which I believe, you know what, now that I think about it, I think if you do that slime jump successfully here, does the same thing. I think it just takes you to Castle 4. Yeah, so I think you get warped here. Either way. Oh, now I'm closer than I realized to something that we definitely want to try to do. But if you take a look at the map, the towns are getting smaller. We're not too far. Like, if we head as far east from here as we can, we basically get to the end game, but there's no mansions between us and there. There's an invisible staircase here. Where does that go? That's an interesting thing to just point out. But, yeah, we go in. There's a total of, what, 5 mansions? I should be able to figure this out. We got room for 2 more body parts, so there's two mansions left. Here's one of them. I can go inside of here and level up one more time, which I will probably do again off camera. But as I was trying to show off on the map, and I got distracted my own self. Traveling west from here takes you to where like the last couple of mansions are that you need to clear out to win the game. Some kind of way. Yeah, here's the last one is the one that has tons and tons of swamp on both sides, and if you go past this last castle through even more swamp, you end up on the other side of that jump that we couldn't make before, where we first got the silver knife. You get to this town, you can't go any further east because there's a jump you can't make. Well, now you come to that same jump from the west. You jumped, you find yourself back near the beginning of the game, you can't go back the way you came. So basically we're at a crossroads now where if we go east, we get up towards the end of the game, but we can't get there yet because we don't have all the items. If we go west until we get the last couple of mansions, and then we turn around and we wrap up the game. But there's something I want to do as soon as I can. even though I'm strong enough to win this section without it, I believe we can now get the best whip in the game. Which is also the last real weapon in the game, because I've got all the sub-weapons. So that's just kind of like, hey, do you remember this trick that you did before? Can you do it again? So here's a little, like, secret-ish zone. It's not even that secret. It's, like, not secret at all. I kind of figured that these blocks are, like, invisible or something. We come talk to this guy. I'll give your Morningstar power to burn away evil. Now we've got the best weapon in the game. I'm going to pause for a second. Just so that we can see together, you and I, gentle viewer, on this spooktacular Halloween special. If you went up to this guy without that, he would say, to break my spell, come back with a powerful weapon. But he doesn't. He says, I'll give your Morningstar power to burn away evil. There's this whole, this place is like as complicated almost as one of the mansions, but there's really no point in going up to the top levels. There's nothing there. So it's interesting like that. It's this whole built up area that you can explore, but there's nothing good that comes out of it. And there's a few more secret messages as you move towards the last mansion. But in fact, what we want to do to wrap this video up is backtrack to the fourth mansion, the second to last mansion. And I do not have enough experience saved up that I'm really all that worked up about not dying. But yeah, I got the best weapon in the game. I think you can level up to like level 6 in this game, but you really don't need to. Level 3 is probably, like, over the course of playing the game without knowing how the leveling up system works, I'm thinking level 2 or 3 is about where I would typically be when I won the game. Back in the day. So we got 15 experience. Alright, the enemies here are worth fighting. They are dropping experience for us. So I could call it a video early and grind here, or we can just fight together through some of this stage. I'm basically doing a quick check now to see, are there any hidden messages in the walls I need to get? It looks like there is various breakable blocks. Oh, this is the area where it looks like you can get someplace in the game you're not meant to go, but you actually do need to go there. Yeah, Bobo and I always thought it was like kind of cool that you could get to this area, because we did get here without me using a map, but this is where you buy the steak in this level. But you don't have to do it because you can get here without buying a steak. That's pretty much, I think, what we did most of the time. Sure looks like you gotta make your way up the long way around if you're gonna get to the secret message, but there's not a whole lot of other point going that way. Oh no, I can see what the correct path is now. So we already have a stake, which means there's no point in us getting to that guy, except that it's kind of cool that you can do it, period. Because they sure make it look like you're not supposed to be able to go to that zone. So maybe we can just actually quick clear this place out. That would be a highly successful video. We're well over halfway through the game now. I wasn't sure how many videos this was going to take, but things are moving along pretty briskly. And the slimes that can be useful in that respect, that they showcase where there's paths that you can't walk through. And the skeletons will also... What is... Oh, okay. Well, that's a thing. What happens when you come over here? No, the game is filled with stuff like that. It's like, something must happen when I get past that deadly trap, right? Nope. You did not need to go there at all. This would sure be a great place to hide some floors you can fall through. this looks like a dead end, but isn't. Because you've got to be able to... Oh, wait, it is. What the hell, game? Oh, the top. Maybe I don't deserve to actually find this hidden message, because it is pretty clear that I didn't explore this thoroughly enough. Well, you guys seem to be walking the length of that without any issues. Of course they had an enemy there waiting for right where I landed. Of course they did. Going this way, so they kind of trap you. This looks like it's the area where Dracula's cursed body part's going to be. It's not. But if you go up there and explore, you find the super top secret hidden message, which we're so excited about. That's why we came all this extra way. The curse has killed the laurel tree. I think that is supposed to warn you of the, or inform you of the fact that the laurels, the curse hates the laurels because the curse is poison and I don't know. There's a jumping skeleton, and we don't have a lot of those in this game. So here's the thing we were all so thrilled we found. We thought we'd get some really super cool item from this guy. He's just the guy who sells steaks in this level, and we already have one. Okay, so we gotta wind around here the long way. And I guess it is, what is gonna happen here now, it looks pretty clearly like, is I'm going to showcase getting the body part and finishing the level. And then I'll just grind here until I level up. Make my way back to the beginning. I guess I'll make my way back to the beginning on camera. You can see the huge amounts of lag we've got just because a couple of enemies are on screen. Which doesn't really seem to have gone away based on us getting rid of the enemies either. You now have possess on it and even let it finish, but we got the nail now. I guess we'll go with the eyeball when we're not fighting enemies that specifically throw fireballs at us that we can use the shield to block. Because that'll... Yeah, I guess this is just a really laggy area. Because, like, getting rid of enemies on screen... Well, no, as soon as I say that, it's sped up a bit. Yeah, I'm trying to... Okay, thank you. I was trying to get to the holy water back. I think the eyeball actually will show you the holy water destroyable blocks and the blocks that look like they're there but are actually not there. So the eyeball is actually pretty useful. Except now I'm not so sure because I feel like yeah, it doesn't show you the ones that you can destroy with holy water. Maybe it shows you the ones that are actually pitfalls. I know it shows you items that are in the wall that you can hit for bonus info. Okay, never mind. The eyeball doesn't show you any of that stuff. It's not as good as I said it was. The eyeball kind of sucks. But here's the entrance to the mansion, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to grind off screen, and when we come back, we will fight our way from the 4th mansion to the 5th mansion and wrap up the game. I'm Mysterious JG, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more of Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. Happy Halloween, guys.